Howdy everyone. So, this video is probably going to turn into a little bit of a rant, but I hear it from time to time. I hear, oh, you don't know how lucky you are. Oh, you're just lucky. Or how easy it is for you to make things work. Well, it's not luck, and it's not easy. So, I'll go a little bit into my history here that a lot of people don't know. So, I wasn't very good in high school. I was always a loner. Kind of introverted. I like to be by myself a lot. But high school was horrible for me. I hated it. So I enjoyed being there and seeing my friends every now and then, but the rest of it I just hated. I had a teacher tell me that I was worthless and I'd never amount to anything in my damn life. And I had another teacher just call me lazy. And I didn't feel lazy. I played football, I wrestled, I lettered on my high school rifle team. But when I come to the schoolwork, I just hated it. It just bored the hell out of me. And then what really didn't help was that in Florida, they have what's known as an exit exam, or they did, which means that you could go and get straight A's all the way through high school. If you took that exam and you failed it, you didn't get a diploma. You got a certificate of attendance, which means you showed up. Basically useless. So, they let you take that test, I want to say 3 times. And the first time you take it is your freshman year. So they made a big deal out of this thing. My freshman year, I took it and I passed it. So to me, if that's what you're judging my high school diploma on, at that point, screw you. Just give me my high school diploma and let me go to work. Because I don't want to be here. But, so I barely graduated high school. And it wasn't that I'm dumb, I just barely graduated high school because I didn't give a damn. So, from there I joined the Air Force. And I had jobs in high school, but from there I joined the Air Force. You know, I love my mom and dad, but literally they could not support me just staying at the house. So, and they were scared that that's what I'd do. So, I joined the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 11 years. A little longer than 11 years, but 11 years. And I blew 3 discs out in my lower back. So, blew those 3 discs out in my lower back. And I was medically retired out of the Air Force. When I got out of the Air Force, I needed a cane to walk around. And to burn the nerve that ran down my foot so it stopped feeling like it was asleep. So my left leg and left foot doesn't feel quite right. You know, people are like, oh, they're not supposed to feel the same. They don't understand what I'm saying. So basically what you have is you have a crippled person and a person with a high school diploma, and that is it. Because I can't do what I did in the Air Force. My body will not allow me to do it. So, oh, you're lucky. You got these motorcycles, you got these cars, you're lucky. I'm not lucky, I'm driven. I am determined. And what I have learned is that people will look at somebody and they will see the result, but they will never see the sacrifice that it took to get there. They'll just go, oh, that's nice. You had it easy. And no, that person probably didn't. That person probably worked for it. Because people that don't put in the work and are just given something, you know, especially money, they go broke pretty quickly. Because they haven't exercised that muscle that it takes to be smart with their money. That's why so many lottery winners in a few years are worse off than they were before they won the lottery. So, no, it's not that. I'm driven. I was driven to make it. I have never once worked for minimum wage in my life. I'll say that again. Never once in my life have I worked for minimum wage. I worked construction. I waited tables, and I made more than minimum wage. The closest I had to working for minimum wage was in the Air Force when I first joined as an airman. when I got out and did not know what to do, and personal stuff happened, and life got really, really rough really quick, like almost homeless rough. Like, the only reason I had a house was because I had the house before I got out, which was my fault. I didn't plan well enough. I didn't understand how it worked, and I didn't ask questions. The Air Force had taken care of me, and they were always going to take care of me. That's how it was, and that was bad on me. And in the end, they did take care of me. But in that particular situation, I should have asked more questions. So I get out, right? And I'm scared to death. What's the workforce going to be? What's this going to be? What's that going to be? Well, luckily a friend got me a job working at Whole Foods, stocking produce. Which, for a person that's basically going into work, leaving his cane in the truck and moving around, was hell. I'd go home every night and lay down on the floor, because I didn't even have a bed at that point. Lay down on the floor, start a fire in a fireplace to keep myself warm, and hand wash my clothes so I'd have something to wear the next day for work. And all they had open at that point in time was a part-time job. And so I would literally driving, and it was an hour drive there and an hour drive back. So I would drive an hour every day to work for 5 hours and then come back. And, you know, at that point in time, you know, life wasn't fun. I was living, I had to make a decision one time to buy dog food over for me. You know, my monthly food bill at that point was $50 a month. It was peanut butter and jelly, if I was lucky, rice, and beans. That's what I lived off of. I had a pellet gun, and I would hunt squirrels in the backyard. Like, I shot a squirrel one time, and I was like, oh, finally some meat. Something else other than just rice. And a stray cat stole the squirrel. And it, I cried. So, you know, it wasn't easy. It's never been easy. But I was driven to succeed. And my next job I got was 15 minutes from my house delivering pizzas, which was a really fun job. I actually enjoyed that job quite a bit. And I would show up to work, and I'd ask the manager on shift, hey, you know, what? You know, I'd start doing work, and I'd be like, hey, I'm supposed to clock out in 10 minutes. You want me to stay or not? Oh, yeah, no, stay. And I'd work. Within a week, I had the next week off because I had worked 80 hours in that first week, because I just wasn't going to stop. And on top of that, when someone would mess a pizza up, I could bring a pizza home. And I started putting money away. And I worked at that place for a little bit, and it didn't take them long before they wanted to make me a manager. And they did. They made me a manager. It kind of ruined that job. And then I went from there to an auto dealership, and I needed parts for a car, a junk RX-8. And I bought the RX-8, and it needed transmission. I went in there to buy parts to fix it, because God knows I can't afford to pay a dealership to work on a car. And they said, you work on those? I went, yeah, I mean, I can't afford to pay y'all. And the guy said, well, what if we pay you to work on them? And I got drug into a manager's office in board shorts and a shirt that had an egg on it that was holding a six-pack, and said, dude, let's get scrambled. Put in my application, got a call back a month later, and the dude went, hey, you still interested in this job? Stuff slacked off. We didn't want you just sitting here. Said, oh, hell yeah, I am. Went in there, and I was a mechanic. And that job started out at $15 an hour. And I showed up to work, and I went to work. And I'd stay till 2 a.m. working on cars. And basically what I discovered was my back would not even allow me to work on little Mazdas. And then I found this job. This is the one place where I'll say, yep, I got lucky when I found this job. And this job that I do now bores the hell out of me, but it pays well. But I will have days where I get out of bed and I roll into work and I don't make it home till 4 a.m. Yesterday I worked 12 hours. And the reason why is it's not luck. It's not easy. I am driven. I am driven to succeed. I am driven. And I'm not driven by money. I could care less about the money. What I'm driven by are my passions and my hobbies. So I'll be honest. If my passion and hobby was probably playing video games, I'd make enough money to buy a video game system, buy the video game I want, sit down and play the video game. But my passion and my hobbies are racing cars, racing bikes, fishing, you know. And I'm not knocking someone if they like playing video games. If that's your passion and hobby, then do the best you can at it. Go crazy. But the point of this is find something that drives you. And stop telling people that you see successful that they're lucky. You want to know why things look easy for me when I'm working on stuff? Is because I've had shit go wrong, so I've learned how to work on stuff. It's not easy. It wasn't easy. I had to stand there and pull things apart. To make it to work for this job, there have been multiple times where I have literally pulled axles out of vehicles and swapped them around so I can make the next day of work. I've had cars catch fire and rebuilt carburetors so I can make the next day of work. You know, and again, people see the results. They don't see the hours at night of researching or what you can do to be better or working or anything. My pizza job, the manager gave me 3 days off in a row, and I came to her and asked her if I did something wrong. She's like, no, you've been working so hard. I thought you wanted the extra days off. And I told her, I said, no, I need the money. I need the work. You know, my first week there, I made Employee of the Month. You know, and then what happened? People started complaining. Well, Chris is taking all the hours. Well, Chris is taking the hours because when they call Chris, they know Chris comes in. So they call, hey, can you come in? Yes. I got pictures of where I literally blew the head gaskets in my Geo tracker, was putting water in it every run to finish out my shift, was off the next day, got a call the next day and had to send a picture of my vehicle in to the manager saying I'll be there as soon as I can, and she could see the pistons because I had the head pulled off of it, the axle ripped off of it, and I was trying to rebuild an engine for the next day. So nothing comes easy for anybody. You got to work for it if you want it. So, guys, it's up to you. This world is what it is. You know, and yes, be thankful if you get a break. I'm so thankful that I got this job. Even though this job bores me, because I just drive, I'm thankful I got it because it pays well and it doesn't leave me hurting every single day of my life. But I can reach in this skillet box right here. Migraine medicine. I keep these people in business. Took pain pills this morning when I got up so I could move. Been doing yoga so I don't need a cane to get around. You know, it's up to you. If somebody with barely a high school education and diploma and is crippled can succeed and make it work, you can too. So hang in there. You know, find a passion that's going to drive you so that you can, if you're not just driven by yourself, find that passion that's going to drive you so that you can do it. Because if I've learned that for most people, once they're satisfied, they're done working. You know, be thankful for what you have, but always stay hungry. That's how you're going to get better. That's how you're going to drive better. And that's how you succeed. So hang in there. Watch me. I'm not done yet. There's a lot of people that I know watch me on my Facebook and stuff just to see me screw up or laugh or be just haters. But you know what? A hater and a fan are the same person, just one side of the coin or the other. So, you know, but I'm going to succeed. I'm going to make this work. And you guys hang in there and enjoy the ride with me.